Hello and welcome. This is our Wednesday, right? Our Wednesday weight management class. My name is Melissa. I'm HealthWare's registered dietitian and personal trainer. Welcome. I'm glad you're here if you're watching live or if you're watching the recorded version later on. Welcome. Today, our weight management class, we are talking about a topic that was actually someone requested. So, hello if you're watching out there. We're talking about 10 tips for eating out while also managing your weight. This is my highly sophisticated, we'll say sort of a PowerPoint replacement. Since we're here on Facebook, I have paper. So that's our show and tell for today. So let's get started. If you have any questions, any comments, please let me know. You can type those in here in the video live or the recorded version later on. Happy to see any questions or any comments. Alrighty, so let's get to it. Oh, hi Annette. Hello, glad you're here. Alrighty, so now that restaurants have reopened for indoor dining, or at least part of the way, here in Ventura County and many other areas actually, eating out has become extra exciting and extra popular. Oh, hi Billy. Eating out is becoming much more of an exciting thing that everybody wants to do again. So it's a good time to talk about this. The good news is that going out to eat at a restaurant doesn't mean that you have to give up all of your weight management goals. There is it is possible to do both. It is challenging, or it can be challenging, but it's not impossible. So today we're going to talk through 10 tips for eating out while still managing your weight. So bear with me as I use my highly sophisticated system with paper clips. There we go. Number one is to make a plan beforehand. I hope you can read that. I tried to write big. Make a plan beforehand. These days, many, if not most, of restaurants have their menus available online. Maybe the really small mom and pop shop kind don't, but the vast majority of restaurants do have some form of a menu online, or people have taken pictures of the menu and posted it in Yelp, something like that. If you're not familiar with the menu or where you're going, read it before you get to the restaurant. Some restaurants even have nutrition information available online, which can be very helpful in guiding you towards healthy choices. So having a plan before you get there can be very helpful. When we get to restaurants, we're in the moment, you're talking with your friends or your family, there's tons of options, the waiter's asking if you're ready, things can get a little bit muddled in your mind, I guess. So it's harder to make the healthy decisions that you might make if you made a plan ahead of time. The second tip is don't go hungry. So you've probably heard that you shouldn't go grocery shopping when you're really hungry because it can actually help you choose less healthy options on the foods that you're purchasing. A similar thing applies when going out to eat at restaurants. If you arrive at a restaurant feeling super hungry, overly hungry, perhaps even hangry, then you're setting yourself up to potentially overeat. Hunger is very sneaky like that. We think that we must eat more and more and more, but if you're absolutely starving before you leave for a restaurant though, you can have a small snack like a piece of fruit, something lower in calories but has a lot of water content like a piece of fruit. Having something like that can sort of take the edge off of your hunger if you're feeling very hungry. And then when you get to the restaurant, you don't feel like you want to eat one of everything on the menu. This kind of goes along with having a plan, right? All right, the third, once you're actually at the restaurant, you want to scan the menu for danger words. So the way a dish is described on a menu can give you clues about its healthfulness or lack thereof. So you want to choose foods that are, I'm going to list some things for you. When you're reading the menu, look for things that are steamed, grilled, roasted, baked, broiled, or poached. Those cooking methods typically use less fat, some of them none, like steaming, and can contain fewer calories. Avoid the foods that are described as fried or pan-fried, crispy or crunchy, breaded, creamy, sautéed, smothered, or rich. Those foods typically contain more fat and more calories. So something that I like to do, I think I'll probably mention this later, but something that I like to do is get vegetables with a meal if I'm eating out. So I'll order steamed vegetables. A lot of menus will say sautéed broccoli or whatever it is. So those typically are going to contain more fat in them because sautéed means that they're cooked with oil, whereas steamed means that it's just cooked with steam, just with water. All right. The next one, number 4, be that person. So I think you know what I mean, being that person. It's the one that always has questions, always brings up stuff, has things that they want to ask the waiter, has substitutions they want to make in the menu, right? Be that person. Don't be afraid to ask the waiter or the chef about ingredients, about the preparation methods, or possible substitutions for certain items, swapping out healthier ones for ones that might be fried or whatever else. Chefs do want to make their customers happy, and you want to make yourself healthy. So I give you permission to be that person in a nice way, not in a mean or a forceful way, but in a nice way. Number 5 is, and this one actually applies to eating at home as well, any kind of eating, eat mindfully. Take the time to pay attention to the aromas and the flavors of your food and how you're feeling when you eat the food. Slow down, and eat intentionally. Put your utensil down between bites. If you need help slowing down, I do know that there are people who tend to eat very fast. I know he's not watching. My brother-in-law eats very, very fast. So put your utensil down between bites if that is something that might help you slow down. Try chewing each bite 20 times before swallowing. Have you tried that? I try that sometimes, just every once in a while, and it's surprising to realize how many times 20 is when you're chewing. Most of us do not chew that many times before swallowing. When you eat, okay, a hormone called ghrelin signals to your brain when you're full and that you don't need to eat anymore. But it takes 20 minutes for that process really to happen. So slowing down your eating gives the brain the time it needs to actually get that I'm full signal and then stop you from eating before you overeat. So if you're eating your food very, very quickly and it only takes you 10 minutes to eat, you might want to keep eating other things. If your plate's done, you want to keep eating because it hasn't been long enough for your brain to actually get the signal that you're full. So slowing down, taking 20 minutes maybe to eat your meal, that helps your body give that brain to your signal, or give the body time to give the signal to the brain that you actually are full when you are full. Hopefully that all made sense. All right, number 6, getting a little bit more specific now. When you're at a restaurant, ask for the sauces, the dressings, gravies, anything like that, other toppings to be served on the side of your main dish. So sauces, dressings, gravies, other toppings, those can contain surprising amounts of fat, calories, and sometimes sodium. So ask your waiter to have those served on the side of your dish. And that is really not an uncommon request. I do this every time I eat out. If I'm getting a salad, or I guess that's one of the main things that I would order, but a salad, for example, I always ask for the dressing to be on the side so that I have total control over how much dressing is going on my food and how much I'm eating. When they put your dressing on your salad for you, or sauce or gravy, whatever it is, it tends to be a decent amount, more than you would use if you were doing it yourself. Yes. All right. Next, another specific: order a soup or a salad to start. There actually are studies that indicate that eating a soup or a salad before your main dish can decrease your overall calorie intake by up to 20%, which is a decent amount of calories. Ask for that salad dressing to be served on the side, of course, and choose a soup, if you can, choose a soup that's more broth-based than cream-based. So a minestrone soup, a vegetable soup, something in that realm, not like a cream of broccoli cheese soup or clam chowder soup. Something that's more in that broth realm. So for an example, like at a Thai restaurant, they have the tom kha soup, and that's the one that has coconut milk in it. Then they have the tom yum. That's the one I think that's broth-based. So something like that would be a great choice as far as this tip goes, to get something, a soup ahead of your main dish. It fills you up, and so you're not going to be eating as much of your main dish. Also, starters tend to come first, so it's elongating your eating time so that your stomach has that chance to send the signals to your brain when you are full. Moving on. Next one, color your plate. Can you see those colors? I hope you can see the colors. I wrote them in different colors on that word. So, color your plate. Look for dishes that include colorful vegetables or fruits, if it's breakfast, and ask for vegetables to be substituted or added to your dish. Typically, a restaurant is going to have vegetables somewhere that they use for some sort of dish, and you can often have a side added on to your meal or replaced because they're already using that ingredient as a side for some other dish. Many restaurants will even let you order a side of steamed vegetables, even if that isn't explicitly listed on the menu. A lot of them actually do have that available because it's part of other dishes. So, colorful plate, make sure that there are lots of vegetables, which goes into the next tip. Watch your portions. So, talking about portions, there are two ways that I typically recommend or tell people ways to manage portions. I've talked about this first one before, probably in a weight management class, and this is the plate method. The plate method is when half of your plate is vegetables, raw or cooked. So if you're thinking about coloring your plate, you want half of that plate to be vegetables, and then a quarter of the plate, a smaller portion, should be lean proteins, so skinless poultry, lean beef, fish, tofu, eggs, egg yolks, beans, something in that lean protein realm. And then the other quarter should be grains or starches, so that would be like potatoes, pasta, rice. So thinking about your plate, divide it up into quarters. 2 of those quarters are vegetables, and then 1 quarter protein, 1 quarter grains. The other method uses more of an estimation. So if you have kind of a mixed plate going on, estimation is what we want to go for. So the amount of the lean protein should be the size of a deck of cards. So if you think about a piece of fish or other kinds of meat or tofu, about the size of a deck of cards. For reference, this is a deck of cards. So it fits kind of, you'll also maybe hear the palm of your hand size. So something that fits in the palm of your hand, deck of cards. This is about 3 ounces worth of protein, and that's kind of what you should look for. With the grains or the starches, you want them to be the size of a fist or less, and that's typically around 1 cup or less. Depends on how big of a person you are. Men tend to have larger fists than women do. So somewhere in that fist realm, okay? And then the amount of vegetables is essentially however much you want, especially if they're steamed, grilled, something that's not prepared with a lot of oil. Essentially as many as you want. Not fried, no tempura vegetables. You can have some of those, but not an unlimited amount of those. Something that's more in the raw, grilled, steamed sort of realm. Okay? And then the final tip in our list today, don't drink your calories. Beverages, alcoholic or not, can add a significant amount of calories to a meal. Avoid those large alcohol drinks and the sugar sweetened beverages, so like Thai iced tea or regular soda. Instead, I know it's not as exciting, but it is very helpful for weight management to choose plain or sparkling water or water flavored with lemon slices, or if you do want to have something alcoholic, something that is a small glass of wine or the hard alcohols mixed with something that is not regular soda or a bunch of juice, okay? That's if you do want to drink alcohol. Don't drink your calories. And this applies to eating at home too. I prefer to eat my calories. I like chewing my calories. It's more satisfying, it's more filling, it's more enjoyable for me. So as a general rule, at home or eating out, don't drink your calories because they really can add up very quickly and they digest relatively quickly in our bodies, so we aren't feeling as full or satisfied as long when we're doing liquid type of things. So as an example, for a restaurant, a Thai food restaurant can be an easier type of restaurant to follow some of these guidelines on. There's a lot of vegetables that are involved in Thai food. And it's a little bit easier to kind of imagine that plate and do half vegetables, quarter protein, quarter of carbs. It's easier to do it in a Thai food type of restaurant, for an example. So you can get a side of steamed vegetables and fill up a big side of your plate with those. You can get a curry or whatever, and you can have the protein, and then you can have rice. That's your carb. So Thai food is one of my favorite choices of where to go out to eat because you can always find something healthy at a Thai food restaurant. So if you're trying to lose weight or manage your weight, it is possible to eat out and be successful with your goals. Not just at a Thai food restaurant, any type of restaurant, it is possible. It does take extra effort and determination. These are only 10 tips of many, right? It takes effort to eat out and still stay on track with your weight loss goals, but you can do it. You can be healthy and still enjoy eating out. That's all I've got for you today. Hopefully my list was a nice visual for you today. Let me know if you have any questions, any comments, or if you have a request of a topic that you'd like to hear for the next class. Obviously, I take requests. I want to teach what you need to know. This class, next month in May, I believe we will actually get to meet in person. So I look forward to seeing your faces or your eyes above your masks, I suppose. But I look forward to seeing you in person. Stay tuned for more information on that. We'll be sending out an email with the details at some point before May. Other than that, happy Wednesday, everybody. Thank you for joining those that are here live. I will see you next time. Bye.